What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's Mr. OverLord here, and this time we have a very completely different video. By the time I'm making this video, this will be my 200th upload on this channel. You know what? And I'm honestly impressed the fact that I was even able to get to 200 uploads in the first place. But I decided to celebrate it with the official Culture Tag tier list of 2025. So let's go. Let's break it down. We have Muscle, Harem, My Break, Tomboy, Monster Girl, BDSM, Opie Lolly, Okyodon, which is basically a childhood friend, Hidden Smex, Emotionless Smex, Humiliation, Vanilla, Etchy / Softcore, Tentacles, Fudanari, Cheating, Impreg, Femdom, Bondage, there's a difference, Nido Rare or NTR, Yaoi, Shotokan, Struggle Snuggle, Lolicon, Incest, Big Breast, Mind Control, BBW, Garo, Exhibitionism, X-Ray, MILF, and Kimono Mimi. This is going to be one hell of a hoot and a holler, I'm going to say that much. But which one to pick? You know what? Let's start off with BBW. Now, this tag here is what a lot is like. This one has a lot more taste in it. It's like the right amount of just like proper plumpness. If you get my drift, like there's like very few people in real life actually have this amount of thickness, and it can make it work. They either go way is either too little or they go way fucking overboard. Let's be honest here, people. But it's still a decent tag. Sometimes it even has some of the more it has some of the more better the better specs out of like all of the tags. Some of it does. So I'll put it in a fair B tier. Okay, so next up. Ooh. You know what I don't really care for, but I respect as a tag? Fudanari. I understand that Fuda is a very popular thing to draw, but it just hasn't been my cup of tea. But I still respect it as a tag nonetheless. So, yeah, it's like the whole chicks with dicks things, like, I never really got the idea, but whatever floats people's boat. But, yeah, I do respect it. So, you're going straight into C tier. Let me just up you up a bit. Okay? Alright. I respect you, but I'm not going to go out of my way just to, rub one off. Let's see. You know what tag I don't respect? You know what tag I don't respect? I do not respect at all. NTR. This is a tag that people, like, I don't know why they defend it. If you actively defend this tag, you are fucking addicted to this shit. This shit is the fucking heroin of hentai. And I'll say that with my whole chest. In fact, no, I said this a few times. Cheating is basically the hentai equivalent of doing heroin, bro. Like, pick any of these tags here, and it'll be a better time than NTR. I guarantee that. So, we're going to put NTR in its rightful place into the F tier. Alright. Let's see, Humiliation. This is a tag that I never truly got. I feel like Humiliation is one of those things just like, what are you doing here? Why are you even trying to do this? Why are you like this in the first place? So I'll I guess like it's there for some people who want to do that type of shit, but it's just like you could have just done it yourself. So I don't know. Whew. It's because it's not quite F tier nor E tier. We're gonna put you in D tier. Yeah, D tier. Yeah, your D tier is fuck humiliation. Now. Okay. Next up. I'm going to say it. Where the hell did I put? There it is. Bondage. I like it. Like I understand spicing up the whole bedroom with certain types of things, certain roles and stuff, but certain times it's just like it teeters on the edge of just being borderline snuff and or abuse. And sometimes a lot of the bondage stuff is just actively questionable. But somehow I still respect it more than NTR. You know what? Actually, you belong in D tier. Now, speaking of bondage, BDSM. Okay, so I'm going to have to make this equivalent. Yes, bondage is related to BDSM, but not all BDSM is related to bondage. Okay, we have to immediately just mitigate that whole situation before someone in the comments starts like regaling me with some shit. Okay, but I feel like with BDSM, it's like there's a little bit more versatile. You can do like just like the whole genre. It's not even really that bad because like you can play with it certain times, like do certain roles and all that fun stuff. So actually, I'll put you in C plus to B minus. Yeah, congrats BDSM. You are the first in between tag. Yeah, you are the first in between tag. Like, I respect you enough, but it's not really that good. Now let's continue the BDSM theme train. Femdom. Typically, femdom can be a bit on the over exaggerated side. I'm not gonna lie to you all, because like there's like regular femdom and then there's like soft/gentle femdom. I typically am more of the soft/gentle femdom. However, I don't really like the pegging that much. But thankfully, like you can just not go into that. So, for the sake of this, I'll put femdom. Yeah, no, I'll put femdom in a fairly B tier. Okay. Next up, exhibitionism. I kind of get this tag, but at the same time, I don't. Because, like, one part of me is like, yeah, cool, you want to see your chick, like, naked all around the world. But the other part of me is just like, dude, people are fucking watching and no one wants to really see that shit. So, I'm kind of stuck. So, for the sake of this, I'm going to put you in C tier. I respect you, but at the same time, I also have my limits. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. toxic. Yeah, I respect you, but at the same time, I have my limits. Okay, so I think we should. Oh, Monster Girl. Where the fuck did I put you? There you are. Come on, people. Come on. Where do you think Monster Girl's heading? It's heading straight to the elite tier. Like, you are. Monster Girl is always one that you'll always have a good time with. On, like, listen, ladies. This is. Yeah. Saying, oh, you guys are fucking soft. Y'all are fucking not real monster fuckers. Like, yeah. Here's the thing. At least we'll have a good time. We're going to have a better time than you. And you can quote me on that. We're going to have a much better time than you. And it's fun. You just have the proper imagination for it. All right. Let's see. Cheating. If NTR is the hentai equivalent of doing heroin, then cheating is the opioids. Let's be honest here, people. It is actively opioids, bro. All cheating does is just boot camp you for NTR. All you're doing is just boot camping the NTR plug's future customer base. That's what you're doing with cheating. So we're going to put cheating in the E tier. I slightly respect it more than NTR, but not that much. Next up, yaoi. Now I'm lumping yaoi as a whole, but I'm also including like stuff like traps and all that fun stuff, cross-dressing. So honestly, once again, I respect you, but I don't actively go for you unless it's like, femboy stuff. That's the thing. Like, unless it's femboy, I could care less. Let's see. Gyaru. Gyaru is actually Gyaru is actually a pretty good time, especially if it's the non-NTR one. I constantly keep having to say this, when you actively exclude NTR, it's actually a properly good time, and it's not even really that bad. I always had a good time with this tag. Gyaru, I'll put you in A tier. All right. Next up, incest. You know what to say? Incest is wincest. But this thing is basically Molly. If vanilla is weed, then incest is fucking Molly. So I'll probably take incest. It's like a very common tag, but it's just like, it's not really winning any awards. It's just solid overall. It's not gonna really do that much. Big booba, elite. Everyone loves boobs. I love boobs. Women love boobs. So yeah. Okay. Next up, mind control. Mind control is easily one of the most divisive. This is like easily one of the most divisive tags. Because the reason why is because, once again, this tag often goes hand in hand with NTR. And you already know how I feel towards that. So unfortunately, I can't put it in elite. I can't put it in S. I don't think. So we have another in-betweener. B- to C+. You're getting a round of applause for mind control for being the second one. All right. Muscles. If I could find the fucking layer. Okay. Muscles. This is another thing similar to BBW, but much like with BBW, they have a problem with, like, in real life specifically, of it going a bit on the overboard side. Like, a little bit of muscle here and there is pretty good, but it's like when you start to go full-blown female bodybuilder, which I have nothing against, by the way, you're cool. It's like, it just fucking looks disgusting, bro. So, that means you know what? I'll put you in B+ to A-. Yeah, you're good. It's like, as long as, like, it has a proper, like, amount of muscle, I'm cool with it. Next. You know what? Let's be a little. Let's see it. Lolicon. Now, this is going to be a very controversial one, because I know a lot of people who do not like this tag. But for me, I always seem to have a surprisingly good time with this tag. This tag here is not even really that bad. I always had a good time with this tag. And a good chunk of it is actually pretty good. Artwork's good. Sometimes the story's pretty good as well. So, in a weird way, yeah, Lolicon, you're in the A tier. Yeah, you're in A tier. However, I'm gonna have to give your the better half of you, though, to the S tier. Because recently I've been enjoying the short stacks a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Next up, harem. I'm going to say it. Harem belongs in... Actually, yeah. It belongs in A tier. Originally, I was going to say S tier, but it's like... At least the protagonist is actually doing his freaking job. And actually conquering... And actually getting the chicks and clapping their cheeks. So it's just a little bit better. Next up, X-Ray. This is actually a relatively okay tag. Sometimes you want to see what's going on. So in a weird way, you are in B tier. Okay, so far the B tier has been taking a lot of leash. Now, tentacles. This is easily the most it's practically the OG. But I can't really bring myself, because, like, let's be honest here, people. How many of you guys actually, looked at tentacle stuff lately? Don't fucking lie to me either. Like the last few months, hell, years. When was the last time you looked at tentacle stuff outside of Monster Girl? Oh, wait. I feel like tentacles are slowly dying out, which is whatever. So, out of respect, I'll put you in the C tier. Next. Ecchi / softcore. Anyway, let me just have a nice water break. This is poverty. This is the perfect embodiment of poverty. You barely have any rent to pay. Like, rent's due. You didn't have the hindsight of buying hentai on DVD or buying an actual physical copy because you didn't know it would come in handy. But now you like all you really have is ecchi stuff. Stuff like Ladies versus Butlers, High School DxD, and all that fun stuff. But it's just like, it's just enough to get you off. But it's like, you can do better. This tag is like the fucking cough meds of hentai. Let's be honest here, people. So we're gonna put this straight into the poverty tag. Can we get a round of applause for the first ever poverty entrance in this video? I'm clapping to myself right now because, well, currently right now no one else is here. You know what? I got two more. Two more of the whole context of the whole proper fantasy. MILF. Let's be honest here, people. Let's be honest here. Anime MILFs are better than the real ones. Like don't fucking argue with me either. You know it's true. And especially when it comes to even gentle femdom stuff. It's like, yeah. So yeah, of course, we're putting MILF in putting MILF in S tier. Same thing with Tomboy. S tier. Okay. Let's talk about Shotokan. Another controversial pick. This one I also have a very good time with. Yeah, this one I actively do have a good time with, regardless of what people think. Shotokan's actually a pretty decent tag to look at, especially if it's with MILF. But if you've been following my Twitter, you already know that I'm basically I find this tag pretty decent. It's a good time. So once again, you're gonna be next to your sister Lolicon in A tier. All right. Impregnation. Pregnancy. You know what? A little bit of wholesome breeding never hurt anyone. So for the sake of this, I'm putting it in elite. This is still easily the best tag. All right. Kimono Mimi. This is Monster Girls. The more I grow older, the more I gotta say, this is Monster Girls. Just little, underachieving sister. It never fully committed. Let's be honest here, people. Yeah, when we were in our teens, when we were kids, the idea of cat girls and wolf girls are all cool and all that. But it's let's be honest here, the more you get older, the more you start to love Monster Girls. However, you still appreciate it at the end of the day. So we're going to put Kimono Mimi in the S tier. Mind Break. This is a tag that I don't really encounter that much of. But when I do, it's actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good time. So I'll put Mind Break in the B tier. Next, Okyodon. Childhood friend. When it's not NTR, this is actually some pretty wholesome stuff. But because of its active association with NTR, I'm going to have to put it in the A tier. Struggle Snuggle. You're going straight in the D tier, brother. Because good chunk of the time, you're often associated with this fucker here. Enough said. Vanilla. You're going to the elite tier. Do I? Because, like, let's be honest here, people. I think it's just the more I grow older, I learn to appreciate my vanilla. And it's the same thing with how I learn to appreciate weed. How people learn to appreciate their weed plug. They learn to appreciate it because at the end of the day, it's still a good time, even if I don't want to do any other things. Nice ass water. All right, we have two hidden tags left. Hidden sex. You know, a little bit of hidden sex, like stealth sex. It surprisingly works. It's like at the same time, it's just like why would you do that? But then again, it's just like the added like tension of being caught in the act. So I kind of get it. Ironically, more than exhibitionism. So in a weird way, you're probably going to get an A. You're giving it an A. Emotional sex. Honestly, I kind of see it. At the same time, I really don't. So in a weird way, I'm going to put you one more. C minus to D plus. Right, C plus to B minus. Fuck. So that is the tier list. So, in Elite, we have Monster Girl, Big Breast, Vanilla, and Impregnation. S, we have Tomboy, Kamino Mimi, Opie Lolly, and MILF. A tier, we have Gaudu, Lolicon, Shotokan, Harem, Okyo-dan, and Hidden Sex. In between that is Muscles. In B tier, we have BBW, Femdom, Mindbreak, Incest, and X-Ray. And in between B and C is BDSM, mind control, and emotional sex. C tier, which I respect, goes to Futanari, exhibitionism, tentacles, and yaoi. D tier is humiliation, bondage, and rape. E tier is cheating. F tier is NTR. And poverty is ecchi / softcore. That is the tier list, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope I see you another time for this year's annual Hentai Tag tier list. Until then, everyone, good night and good luck.